Hi, it's the Silly Moustache here, and firstly I must give my thanks to Andy, who runs the YouTube channel called Guitar Stuff Studio, because one of his videos told me that all online guitar tutors and teachers must wear hats. Now, I don't normally wear a hat, especially inside, but rules are rules. So here we are. So I am now properly dressed. However, it didn't say anything about trousers. So there we go. Now, the reason for this video is because I found a piece of paper stuck to a file of mine which has got nothing to do with my YouTube activities, whatever. It was my finance stuff. And I found I'd lost this and I didn't know where it had gone in my terribly well organised office. And so I'm answering a rather old question that was from Chiefline 7084. Chiefline 7084. And he said, and these are just my notes rather than details, he said pros prefer lighter built acoustics for better tone and resonance than heavier guitars. Now, I'm not at all sure that that really is true. First of all, a lighter built, especially an old vintage guitar, is going to suffer from wear and tear when used on a professional basis, and can sustain damage rather more easily. And I don't necessarily believe that a heavier guitar is quieter or less resonant. So I've got three guitars here, and I've got a sound meter on my phone that tells me at the moment that if I'm ever so quiet, the ambient sound level in this room is about 30 decibels. Now, I have two 00 guitars. One is my Collings 002H, which was built in 1999. By the way, all of these guitars have a D'Addario XS phosphor bronze 53 to 12 standard lights, and they've all been on pretty much the same time, within a couple of months of each other, apart from the last one that I'm going to show you, which have quite old strings. So I'm just going to bash these and see what is loudest. That's a bit of it. That's better. It's peaking at about 82 decibels. I think they're more likely built by Collings now, but I haven't had the opportunity to prove or disprove that. Here is my Eastman E40, which is the same size, same dimensions as the Collings, and it is very lightly built in comparison. It is beautifully built inside. It's about 80, 79. Now I'm going to go to a different size guitar, a smaller guitar, which is an E20P, standard production model, E20P, with excess strings that go back probably to the end of 2023. There we go. And so it's a size O, slightly deeper body, but a smaller top. 85. Between 83 and 85, according to this meter thing. So that is a little bit louder than these by 1 or 2 decibels. That's a very solidly built guitar, and it's a great guitar. So I think there are a lot of other variables that depend or that have an effect on resonance and tonality. And then we can start getting into all sorts of complicated stuff like the aging of the wood, the kind of wood, the 2 Eastmans, they say that Adirondack, which is red spruce, my Collings 99, which is far older, has standard Sitka, very close grain Sitka. The rosewood versus mahogany. Now, I've got 3 dreadnoughts which I thought about doing this with upstairs, and they're all built by Collings between 2003 and 2008, and there is one of them, a standard DS1, which is Sitka and mahogany, which seems to me to be more strident. I used to use it for as my bluegrass guitar, but the difference is minimal. So and Collings dreadnoughts are usually over 4 pounds, 4 to 4.3 pounds in weight. So I think there's too many variables to make that judgment. I think pros vary enormously in their choices of instruments, like we do, and I think what is right for one person wouldn't be right for another. So Chiefline 7084, thank you so much for the question. It's a very good question, but I think there are too many variables to make that simple judgment that lighter guitars always sound louder or have better tone. Vintage guitars that have survived and been well looked after tend to have an improvement in tone. I think that my Martins peak after about 20 years, but that's personal perception. And this is a guy wearing hearing aids. So there we are. I hope that helps. Chiefline 7084, if you read this, please get in touch and let me have your comments. And if you have been, everyone, thanks for watching.